Daf Yomi, Tractate Bava Batra, page 165a, top of the page, or it's Kuf Samach Hey, top of the page with the words Ella Avak Lashon Hara. The Gemara answers rather, Rav was referring to uttering a hint, words with a bare trace of malicious speech. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav, Rov Begezel, Miut Ba'arayos, V'hakol B'lashon Hara. Rav Yehuda says that Rav says the majority of people succumb to sin with regard to robbery, and a minority of people succumb to sin with regard to sexual matters, and everyone succumbs to sin with regard to malicious speech. The Gemara asks, can it enter your mind that all people sin with regard to malicious speech? The Gemara answers rather, Rav was referring to uttering a hint of malicious speech. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel hakol k'minhag hamedina v'tana kama lesle minhag b'medina. The Mishnah teaches with regard to documents. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel says everything is in accordance with regional custom. The Gemara wonders, and does the first Tana not accept that one should follow the regional custom? It is not reasonable that he would take issue with such a basic concept. Amar Ravashi said in explanation, Be'asra denihigi pashut, Amar le, avili pashut, azal avid mekushar, kapeda, lihigi mekushar, ve'amar le, avid le mekushar. Excuse me. Excuse you. Excuse me. Excuse you. Excuse we. Excuse you? Where was I? I'm gonna wash you, boss, and you must do the money. I'll be never shoot. Well, I'll give it. Niggy Makusha, Malay, I'll be Nimakusha. Well, I'll be shoot Capeda. Rav Ashi said an explanation in a place where the custom to write an ordinary document, and one said to a scribe, make an ordinary document for me, and the scribe went and made a tied document for him, it is assumed that he was particular about wanting an ordinary document. Similarly, in a place where the custom is to write a tied document, and one said to a scribe, make a tied document for me, and the scribe went and made an ordinary document for him, it is assumed that he was particular about wanting a tied document. In both these cases, the document is considered to have been written without the consent of the one who requested it. If it is a bill of divorce, it may not be used, as the bill of divorce must be written with the knowledge and consent of the husband. Ki pligi ba'asrenihi bashut mekushar v'amar le aved li pashut v'azal avad le mekushar mar savar kapeda umar savar male makom hulo. When the Tanaim of the Mishnah disagree, is in a place where the custom is to write both an ordinary document and a tied document, and one said to a scribe, make an ordinary document for me, and the scribe went and made a tied document for him. In such a case, one sage, the first Tana, holds that the one requesting the document was particular about wanting an ordinary document, and since the scribe wrote a tied document, it is considered to have been written without his consent. And one sage, Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, holds that the one requesting the document was merely indicating his position to the scribe, stating that if the scribe wanted to save himself the trouble of writing a tied document, there would be no objection. Amar Abaye, Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, Rabbi Shimon ben Rabbi Elazar, Kulo hu severe luhu mar makom hulo. Abaye said concerning Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, and Rabbi Shimon, and Rabbi Elazar, they all hold that when one gives instructions to an agent, he is merely indicating his position to him, as opposed to expressing an insincere, as opposed to expressing an insistence on certain details. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel had Amran, Rabbi Shimon Ditnan. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel holds in this case, as we have just said. Rabbi Shimon holds this as well, as we learned in a Mishnah, Kedushin 48a. As explained by the Gemara there, that the first Tana rules that if a woman appoints an agent to accept her betrothal money and tells him that the man will be giving a golden dinar, or that he will be giving a silver dinar, and he in fact gives the other type of dinar, the betrothal is not valid, as in accepting the wrong dinar, the agent did not follow the woman's instructions exactly. Rabbi Shimon Omer, im hita l'shevach harezu mikudeshet. But Rabbi Shimon says, if he misled her to her advantage, meaning, in other words, he told her he was going to give her a silver dinar and gave her a golden dinar, she is betrothed. When the woman told the agent to receive the silver dinar, she did not mean to insist that the dinar be silver as opposed to gold, but was only indicating her position, which, in that she would have no objection to receiving only a silver dinar. Rabbi Elazar Ditnan ha'isha shamra hitkabeli gitim makom ploni v'kiblo la mimakom acher pasul. Rabbi Elazar machshir mar savar kepeda u'mar savar mare makom hulo. Abaye continues, Rabbi Elazar also holds this. As we learned in the Mishnah, Gittin 65a, with regard to the woman who, when designating her agent for receipt of her bill of divorce, said to her agent, receive my bill of divorce for me in such and such a place, and he received it for her in another place, the divorce is invalid, and Rabbi Elazar deems it valid. One sage, the first Tana, holds that the woman is particular that her instructions be followed, and one sage, Rabbi Elazar, holds that she was merely indicating her position to the agent, informing him of where she thought her husband would be. Pashut shekasa bo eid echad bishlo mikusha shekasa bo shnei edim pasul itzrich sel kedai techamina hayal biyam lekasher hachanam mikasher kamash melan de pasul ela pashut shekasa bo eid echad pshita. The Mishnah teaches with regard to an ordinary document in which the signature of a single witness is written, and a tied document in which the signatures of only two witnesses are written, they are both not valid. The Gemara asks, granted, it was necessary for the Mishnah to teach that a tied document in which the signatures of only two witnesses are written is not valid, as it might enter your mind to say that since generally a document is valid with two signatures, here too it is valid. Therefore, the Mishnah teaches us that it is in fact not valid. But why was it necessary to state that an ordinary document in which the signature of a single witness is written is not valid? Isn't this obvious? Abaye said it is necessary to state this halakha only to teach that even if there is one witness signed on the document in writing, and in addition one witness testifies orally to the contents of the document is not valid. Amemar aksher ba'ed echad v'chsa ba'ed echad al peh amar le'davar shila amemar v'havaye mai amar le'helo shemiali k'lomar lo svirali. The Gemara relates that a member deemed a document valid in the case of one witness signed on the document in writing and one witness testifying orally to the contents of the document. Rav Ashi said to Amemar, of what of that statement of Abaye, which deemed such a document invalid? Amemar said to him, I did not hear of it, as though to say, I do not hold like it. I disagree with Abaye. Elakashia, Rav Ashi asks, but if you disagree, the difficulty with the Mishnah remains. Why does the Mishnah state, on top of 165b now, why does the Mishnah state that which is obvious, that a document with a single witness's signature is not valid?